Our vocabulary deep dive today is exploring the meaning of able and ible when they are suffixes at the ends of words. So first, let's just brainstorm a list of words that end with able or ible. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So one that first comes to mind for me is the word reversible. Has that ible at the end. Or how about fashionable? Has able at the end. Responsible, horrible, comfortable, that's another one. Unavailable or available, they both have able at the end. And maybe the last one, sustainable. All right, so these are all words that end with the suffix able or ible at the end. And so when we think of the word reversible, for example, if something is reversible, it means that you are able to turn it around or turn it inside out, or you're able to reverse it. That makes sense. And so the part of this that I want you to pay attention to is this able to. When you add ible or able to the end of something, it means that you can or you're able to do whatever that base word is. And so on this one, this base word is reverse. And when we say something is reversible, it means you're able to reverse it. You're able to turn it around. If you are responsible, you are able to respond the way that you're supposed to for something. If you are comfortable, that means you're able to or you can be experiencing comfort. If something's unavailable, it means you are not able to get it. You're not able to avail it. So that suffix able or ible at the end of a word makes it mean can or able to be. So we're going to look at two specific words today that have able at the end. The first word is this word believable. So if something is believable, first let's look at that root word, and it's actually a verb. It's something you can do. That verb believe means to trust or to think it can happen. And when we add able to the end, remember able makes it mean can or able to be. Believable now means I'm able to believe, or I'm able to trust, or I'm able to think that it would happen. And so something that might be believable is that I ate breakfast this morning. That's totally believable. I'm able to believe that. And then this other word we're going to look at today is the word inevitable. And that in at the beginning means not. But this evita right here comes from a Greek word actually, or I think it's Latin, a Latin word that means to avoid. So evitare means to avoid. And when we add able to the end, remember the able means you're able to, or you can. And so inevitable would mean, with that in at the beginning, you're not able to avoid it. If something is inevitable, there's no way that you could avoid it. And so we're going to look at a few examples of that. And so we can use kind of this structure for any word that we wanted. If we were going to look at the word comfortable, the root word is comfort, able to experience peace or comfort or whatever. And when we change it to able, you now are comfortable. You're able to feel comfort. And so, quick reflection, how does adding the suffix able or ible to a verb affect the verb? So, for example, with the one we just looked at, that word believe is a verb. Believe is something that you can do. It's a verb. Now when we add able to the end, now we've just made it into an adjective, because if something is believable, we're describing it. Same with like the example of evitare, you're meaning to avoid it. It becomes an adjective. Same with reversible. If you reverse something, you're turning it around. And then once you say reversible, so this reverse is a verb, and once you call something reversible, you added that ending, it just became an adjective. You can describe something with it. So just kind of a fun vocabulary fact for you to think about. We're going to look at the two words in sentences now. So these sentences are actually both from the story The Boys' War that we read. And I'm going to read them in these sentences, and then your task is you have to use them in sentences after this. So this says, but it is this directness and eye for everyday details that make the voices of these boys so fresh and believable and eloquent. We see that word, believable. And this one, no one inside the fort had been seriously injured in the bombardment, but the outcome of the fight was inevitable, unavoidable, like we talked about. All right, so thinking about this word believable, why are the drummer boys' accounts so believable? Well, when we look back here, something that made them so believable is that they were just everyday voices of boys. They had no reason to lie. We know they are believable because they were sharing their actual perspectives that they experienced, is what we've been talking about. And this one, why was the outcome of the fight inevitable? Inevitable means that it was unavoidable. The North was surrounded by the South at the fort of man, I'm blanking on the word, Sumter. At Fort Sumter, they were surrounded. And so the outcome of the fight, they would not have been able to avoid it. The South won that battle. All right, so your guys' job then, in your ELA notebook or in Notability, you need to write each of these words in a complete sentence. Use the word believable in a sentence and use the word inevitable in a sentence. Now, the purpose of this is to see, do you really understand what these words mean? So please don't give me just a short sentence that doesn't show me that you understand this, okay? Give me a sentence that proves to me that you know what these words mean. Focus on using correct punctuation and capitalization, please, and then turn it into Schoology when you're done.